This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI Studios in Toronto, Canada.
Hey Toronto, this is Ed Sheeran.
This is Kelly Clarkson.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
This is Adele.
This is Madonna.
It's Michael Bublé, and you're listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep Show. It's fun. They're amazing.
Every now and then you come across a headline that just really captures your attention and you click on the story and you know you shouldn't. This is one of them. The headline was, "Is your jawline the new waistline?" And immediately I was like, I don't think I've ever thought about my jawline being as important as my waistline. I don't think it's something that I've ever even, thought about something I need to work on. Turns out plastic surgeons are now hearing from people when they come in that they all want that perfect chiseled jawline. And they're talking more about that than they are about weight or anything else. So I did a little deep dive. Turns out you can do some face yoga exercises to get that chiseled look naturally, all by yourself, by creating a habit that you do every day to get a perfect jaw. Why are you looking at me
Did I
that
have
way,
to start when I
Producer
was
Stef?
like 20, though? Because I feel like it's not going to work.
No.
There's a lot of damage that's already happened.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, they say that you only need like 3 months, okay? But you have to make it a habit, so you have to do it every day. So why don't we try a face yoga exercise right now and see if you can feel the benefits immediately. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, it's called mewing.
What?
And mewing is an exercise that involves keeping your tongue on the roof of your mouth to change the shape of your jawline. Okay, you both are.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to walk you through it, okay? And they say the reason for this is because usually our tongue is just down when our face is resting, and the tongue muscles are pulling the skin down, okay?
Okay.
I wish you could see Boss Man Blair and Producer Stef right now, the faces you're making. Okay, are we ready to go through mewing? Okay.
My tongue is stuck to my roof.
Close your mouth. That's the first thing. All right. And you try this at home right now, or if you're in the car, okay? Place the tongue on the roof of your mouth, applying evenly distributed pressure.
That feels like nothing's happening.
Okay, just do that. Leave a gap between your front teeth and the tip of your tongue. I just hear heavy breathing.
Okay, what's next?
Your molars should only lightly touch one another. Place your bottom front teeth slightly behind your front upper teeth.
What is that? I need braces, I think, is what I've discovered here.
Avoid clenching your teeth. Put your lips together. Don't squeeze them. You don't want to have any tension. No reverse smiling or duck face. Just keep a resting position. And avoid mouth breathing. We just want nasal breathing. Okay. And if you are struggling, just relax the back of your tongue as it may block your airway. Guys?
Yeah.
I'm getting
How
a
are we
cramp in
doing?
my tongue. Seriously.
It feels like nothing. Okay, and are you ready for how long you're supposed to do this for? Because it's been, what, maybe 10 seconds? You're supposed to do this for 30 minutes a day.
I'm out.
Okay.
I'll just focus on my waistline. How about that?
What would you say your trademark is, if you have one?
Well, I guess the look I'm best known for is blue steel.
What's that look like?
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Look, I think we're all guilty of this in this room because we're all of a certain age where it's a lot easier to hurt yourself than maybe it was when you were young. There's an injury in this room, and I don't think you're going to believe it. Steph, I hate to put you on the spot.
I don't believe it.
You came in here with a little bit of a limp this morning, and I was like, what happened?
It's not from my move. It's not from the renovations. I found my old Wii, so we started playing
Like your
it.
Nintendo Wii.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like the best
Classic.
thing ever.
So good.
And then we were playing some of the sports games on there, and we were playing bowling.
And
Remember
this is
the
where
bowling?
you actually, like, for people who haven't
use
played,
use the controller.
and you're actually getting up and mimicking the bowling motion.
And you throw your hand, not the controller. The controller stays in your hand. And
Yeah.
then it acts like it reacts. So then you bowl and
Yeah.
you can get strikes. It's so cool. I love
burn
it.
some calories.
Yeah. So we were playing it, whatever. And then I was getting all into it because I'm an awesome bowler. And then
An awesome Wii bowler.
an awesome Wii bowler. I'm actually better at real bowling, but that's a whole other story. So I was like getting into it, and then all of a sudden I went to go throw the ball, and I'm doing the motion. And as I do the motion, as it's coming near my leg, I nailed the back of my knee. Like it felt like I was holding a real bowling ball for how much force I was putting into this.
What did you hit it with?
shot.
The controller? Like your hand?
Yeah, my hand in the controller. It
You
would
hit
have
the
been a
back
bowling
of-
ball if I really had a bowling ball in my hand.
How much could that possibly hurt?
A lot.
You're limping
It's
today.
bruised. Yeah, and I'm like, ah! And my kids are like, what happened? And I'm like, leg.
Did you hit the deck? Did you hit the deck and fall down?
Almost. I almost hit the deck, but I grabbed the coffee table, so I didn't hit the deck. And it is the worst pain ever. And I'm like, can I sue them? Is it their fault?
You're going to sue Nintendo Wii 20 years after they came out for Wii Bowling.
But yeah, very dangerous game. Who'd have thunk that Wii Bowling was very dangerous?
That might be the lamest injury I've ever heard
This is probably
of.
the worst injury I've ever received in my life.
And you got a solid limp on today because you hurt yourself in Wii Bowling. Have you ever hurt yourself in a more lame way than Steph? I mean, I'll share one since we're putting Steph on the spot. I actually pulled a muscle in my back sneezing.
Oh, so you weren't even doing anything.
No, I kind of got up in the middle of the night because I had to sneeze.
Active.
It was a full body sneeze. I guess I was active too.
Were you?
Full body sneeze, and I pulled a muscle in my back that bothered me for about 2 weeks.
Oh, that's the worst. I woke up one morning too, and I pulled my my calf muscle.
Oh yeah.
And then I was going to massage that day. She's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just woke up." No, there was no reason for it.
I don't know. I'm not 20 anymore. Everything hurts now.
It's awful.
What is the lamest injury you've ever suffered? Honestly, some of the calls and texts we're getting here, yours sounds pretty legit compared to this. I hurt my back while eating peanut butter.
What?
Texted someone.
Was it Pooja?
We might need more, honestly, right? And one more here. My teen daughter dislocated my knee while we were tickling each other. I was on crutches for 4 weeks. Ridiculous. Okay. A lot of texts, a lot of calls coming in. Denise saying injuries, lots of them. Broke 3 toes hitting the dishwasher trying to step over my cat. So there's that.
This is why you don't get a cat.
Let's try. This is why. Case closed. Tony from Kirkston, what's your lamest injury?
I was trying to get some dinner out of the freezer, so I pulled out some garlic bread, and a giant roast fell and broke my toe.
Oh, like a giant frozen roast?
Yep.
That's a great story to have to tell people too, right?
It was embarrassing.
Now let me ask you an honest question here. Did you make something up when people asked how you broke your toe because you were embarrassed about the story?
No.
You owned it.
I actually owned it.
Okay, good for you, because I lied. When people are like, what's wrong with your back? I'm like, oh, man, I was doing the sports. I was doing all the sports. I was lifting, and I pulled something in my back.
Nope. Weightlifting, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Tony, that's awesome. Glad your foot's better. Thanks for sharing.
No problem. Thank you.
And Tony, we might actually have a story for you that makes you feel better. This text coming in saying, one time while grocery shopping, I dropped a frozen burrito on my foot. I was wearing sandals and ended up with a deep bone bruise, was limping for a couple of days. So embarrassing.
Because a roast makes sense. It's heavy, but a
burrito? A frozen burrito at the grocery. You just know he's in the produce section going like,
when did burritos become dangerous?
I don't know, man. They're frozen. They hurt. Haley from Guelph, what is the lamest injury you suffered?
At least Steph was doing actual, some kind of activity. I was literally just walking down the hall in July, and I broke both my tibia and my fibia, and missed a Mumford & Sons concert because I had to go for surgery.
No, wait, so you were just walking, and what happened?
Literally just walking, and I just fell. I didn't trip. There was nothing in my way. I just collapsed, and both my bones broke.
Your legs were done. They're like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
Pretty much.
Steph, do you feel a little better?
I do feel better. Yeah, you're right. At least I was doing something.
Thanks for sharing, Haley. Hope you feel better.
Thanks so much.
More text coming in at 981-981. I skied over my own thumb, fell, and trying to get up, slid over my thumb and broke it. How about this? Tripped over a wet floor sign in my university cafeteria, managed not to fall, proceeded to trip over another wet floor sign, spilled my hot coffee all over myself and the floor. That's from Sarah. And finally injured myself while dancing with a friend. We're on a girls' camping trip weekend, put on some music, started dancing, somehow jammed my finger into her hand, wound up in the ER.
Too much twerking.
Yeah, let's squeeze in this last call here. Too much twerking. Christine from Toronto, what is the lamest injury you suffered?
I was in my mid-20s and I was at a party and thinking I was really cool.
Okay.
And I got my boob stuck between a plastic cork and the lip of a wine bottle.
Do I even want to know how that happened?
Because I was pressing down on the cork to close it, and I guess I leaned in too far. So I actually had to take 2 days off of work because it hurt so bad I couldn't wear a bra.
I'm in pain for you right now.
I've never felt pain like that before, and I've had 3 children.
Oh, my gosh, really?
Yeah, I almost passed out.
That is, that story might win the day.
Yeah.
The Pooja and Gurdeep Podcast.
This is the Pooja and Gurdeep Podcast.
Okay, maybe you're getting ready to commute on a GO train this morning on the TTC. And if you want to be the first one on the train, and a lot of people do for some reason, they want to be the first. They want to get on, maybe because it's a rush and they want to make sure that obviously they get on and don't miss their train. I get that. But if you want to be first on the train, there's a TikToker who has some advice, and it's pretty simple when you actually hear it. You're like, oh, never thought about it that way.
So on every single train platform, if you look down, there's a yellow line. Now, the points where the yellow lines is most damaged and dirty, that's where the doors usually open.
So if you just look for that and you stand right in front of it, chances are you're going to be the first person on the subway train or on your GO train. So I don't know what it is about being first. I was recently on a plane and people just, they line up. They haven't been, it's not their zone. They're lining up. They're getting ready because they want to be first. But I don't really understand. Nothing really changes from being first on the plane or off the plane. What is the actual urgency? I need to know.
I don't care if I'm first on the plane because then you just wait longer on the plane.
Exactly.
So that doesn't bother me, but you do get baggage, like you get your space for your bags.
But not anymore. Nowadays, what they do is they make an announcement right off the top. They say the flight is full. We're going to be forcing you to check your bags because there's just not enough room. So the chances of there being enough room for your bag anyway, like they're already asking you to check them.
I don't want to wait on the plane longer, but I usually have a connection. And I want to get off the plane first. So that needs to kind of be organized. And the people that are just getting off at that location need to wait for the people that need to get off for the connection.
That's actually a really good point. I've never heard anyone sort of point that out. Like, okay, by the way, stay seated if you don't have a connecting flight. And if you do, you got to get moving.
Yeah, you got to get off first because usually it's a tight connection.
Yeah. See, that makes sense to me because like getting off the plane first and then going through customs and all of that, it doesn't make anything any quicker. You still have to wait for your bag.
The plane's leaving when the plane leaves.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the seatbelts are off. People are standing. We're still taxiing. Everybody wants to be first. I don't know. But maybe for a GO train or a TTC situation, you understand people are going to work.
Yeah.
It's during rush hour.
You want to make sure you get on.
Just want to make sure you get on. You don't even want a seat. You just want to make sure you get on. Now you know how to do it. So look for the weathered area of those tactile markings on any platform. You'll be on first. Thank you, TikTok.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Remember there was shortages on everything and anything, the most random items? There was a sriracha shortage a few months ago. Is that still happening? Do you know?
I remember like bottles were going for like $50, $60.
And like you could not find them.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a thing anymore.
That actually concerns me because that would have helped maybe rationalize what I'm about to tell you here. I popped into Starbucks yesterday in Etobicoke, right at Westway and Royal York there. I popped in to get the sandwich we all love, the little egg white feta spinach wrap. Popped in. You know, that sandwich is not the same unless you have the sriracha, right? You got to spice it up with the sriracha.
You got to do a little dip in your words.
That's it. You layer it in there. You got to do a little surgery with that one. You open it up, you put a line in there, you close it up.
Oh, okay.
And so I ordered it ahead of time, tried to be efficient, get in, get out. I go to pick it up. I'm like, hey, can I grab a little sriracha packet? And the guy goes, ooh, we're running low on sriracha.
Running low, okay.
And I was like, okay, so can I have one? What do you mean you're running low on sriracha? Like, okay, I'm sorry, but can I have one?
Does that mean they don't have it, or does that mean they have it, they're just not giving it to you?
This is why I posed the question here on the show. I don't know, and I'm mad at myself for how I handled it.
What'd you do?
Well, he looked at me kind of like, you know, that conciliatory face where he's like, ooh, sorry, we're running low. And I was like, oh, okay, don't worry. And then I just turned around and I left. And the whole drive home, I'm like, why didn't I just ask for one? He's running low, which means he's got them. Was I not sriracha worthy? Was he going to give one to the next person if he liked the way they looked more? Like, what happened?
Yeah, and if you had just stuck around and maybe doubled down with like, okay, you're running low. I just need a little bit.
Sorry,
I just need a line.
One packet. I'm like, give me half a pack. Like Blair and I usually split one. I'll let you open it. You give me half a little squeeze there, and you can keep the rest.
Yeah. I mean, if he's running low, he might have appreciated that offer. The next person, not so much when they get the half, packet of sriracha.
I wish he had just lied to me and said we were out. Like it's happened before where I go and they're like, sorry, we're out. Okay. Mm-hmm. We're running low. What does that mean? It's like Elaine and the sponges. You're not sponge worthy. I'm not sriracha worthy.
I don't know. I feel like you need to go back and follow up. We all need to know now. What does running low mean? Was he just being kind? Like they didn't have any and he didn't want to say we don't have any, so he said we're running low?
That's not kind. Was it me? Now I've got a complex. I'm like, what did I do to not deserve sriracha? I'm brown. I like stuff spicy.
Maybe he thought you needed more than the average person needs. Maybe that's what it was.
I don't know.
You know what's weird too? It's not a restaurant, so they're not like opening things up and using it. So it's not like they need it. They're handing it out to customers.
Yeah.
So they're
But they're running low.
Unless
I
he's-
know, but
He's got 2
finish
packets.
them.
Unless
Like,
he's
hand
just
them out.
in the back, just squirting them to his mouth. Like, I don't know.
Maybe he planned on getting a sandwich later and he was keeping it for himself.
Okay, well, we know who's been hoarding them in here. Blair just handed me one. Okay. I hope you didn't get this from the one in Etobicoke at Westway in Royal
No.
York, because now we know.
The Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Law & Order Toronto Criminal Intent is the latest installment of the hit franchise, Thursday, 8 o'clock on City TV. And joining us to tell us more is stars of the show, Kathleen Monroe and Karen Robinson. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Okay, take me back. You get the call that you are going to be part of this iconic franchise. What is going through your mind? We'll start with you, Kathleen.
So I was in Starkman's Medical, which is a medical supply store, very Toronto institution. I was getting a knee brace, like I had a knee. And so the first person I told was the woman that was helping me with my knee brace, and I burst into tears. And it was totally surreal. Like I really wanted this job, and it was such a thrill. Yeah.
Karen, what about for you? What does it mean for you to be a part of this?
I remember watching the original back in the day, and always just sort of looking at Esapatha Murkison and going, my God, like Black woman, sort of, the strength of her life, of her middle-agedness, and she has this wonderful leading role. And and never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that, 20 years later, I would be part of her legacy. And I got the call mid-reno when my life was pretty much falling apart.
Oh.
And so it was like the other end of the spectrum for me, because really my reno had been shut down and all this was happening. But yeah, getting this call, it's like the sun came up again.
So 10 episodes, 1 hour long. What can we expect from this season?
You can expect the very high quality that people have come to know and love from the Law & Order franchise, first of all. But then there is that touch. Actually, it's not even so much a touch. It is a weave of Canadianness throughout, because we're different from the U.S., right? Our legal system is different. Our law enforcement system is a bit different. So I think Canadians are going to see... We're going to see ourselves. We're going to see our systems. Torontonians are going to see their city, and hopefully they'll love it and celebrate it as much as we have.
And the
throughout
storylines are ripped from Canadian headlines as
Yes,
well.
and we're not giving anything away. You have got to watch. You got to watch.
And if anyone is familiar with the franchise, they know, I love that you'll sort of start an episode and we'll know right away what's happened. And then we start to go deeper and go backwards in time.
The why and
to get
how.
all the why and how, to get all the details. So can we expect that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think the kind of fun thing about this this iteration is that it's a criminal intent. It's based on the criminal intent format, which means that there's not so much courtroom stuff, but there's really an interest in getting to the why of the crime, the criminal intent, literally.
Getting into the mind of the perpetrator or at least the suspects. It's there is a certain intellectual quality to it that is, no less entertaining.
I want to know about the fun stuff behind the scenes. Any stories that you can share of, filming, especially here in Toronto?
We had a few root beer taste tests. Anytime we were kind of felt the energy maybe lagging a little bit, we need a little pick me up, we'd get the root beers out and
they got into it.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a shout out to Mugs right now. I'm not sponsored. This has nothing to do with any kind of official endorsement, but Mugs went out for me. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay. Next time I need an energy boost, I know where I'm going. I'm so excited for this. I know you are too. Congratulations to both of you. We want to remind everyone, Law & Order Toronto Criminal Intent, the latest installment of the hit franchise, Thursday, 8 o'clock on City TV. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Listen to Pooja and Gurdeep live weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Only on 98.1 CHFI.
Toronto's perfect music mix.